Nancy, hey. How's the investigation going?
Pretty well. You know, it would really help if I could get May to talk to me.
She hasn't given her alibi yet.
No. And everyone seems to have one, except her.
Everyone? Is it possible that it could be someone from outside of town? A visitor or something?
Absolutely. But statistically speaking, crime is rarely a random occurrence.
It's a mystery to me. You have anything you wanted to talk about?
Talk to you later.
Miss Drew, how can I help you?
Hi, Miss Cole.
Alicia, please.
Oh, same. Nancy.
Great. So what do you need, Nancy? Any more paper clips, staplers, or perhaps a hammer drill?
I'm more of a pneumatic nail gun type myself.
Ha ha, nice.
Have you heard or seen any ghosts in Salem?
Where's the camera? Are we on some show here?
Everyone I've interviewed claims there are ghosts here.
Ugh, this town. People here never cease to amaze me with their stupidity. You seem like a smart gal. I expect you not to be swept up by all this nonsense.
So, I'll take that as a no. For the record, I don't believe in ghosts either.
That's why I like you.
But I do think it's curious that everyone else here believes they exist, or has actively seen them. Don't you think that's interesting?
It's just Salem. So stuck in the past, its people see ghosts everywhere.
I'm sure you've heard about the burglary in the court's evidence room.
Yes, unbelievable. You know, I've started asking myself, what is happening to this town? It used to be such a safe place. And now we have arson and break-ins. I'm worried there's a pattern of escalation here. I mean, is this the kind of place I want to raise children in?
Oh, you're trying to start a family.
I mean, yes. But with the amount that I work, when is there any time? I barely have enough time to do my hair in the morning, let alone go on a date after work. And to be honest, the type of people living in a place like Salem is, well, not really what I'm into. How about you?
I have a boyfriend.
Really? He doesn't accompany you on your investigative trips?
Well, he's in college right now, and we see each other when we can.
Uh-huh. You been dating long?
Yeah, a couple of years.
Okay.
No one said it was easy, but we figure out how to make it work.
All I'll say is, most men don't understand what we go through. We have to fight to get a seat at their table, and then they want us to go home and be family makers. Some unsolicited advice from one working woman to another? Don't let his plans get in the way of yours.
Of course, they don't. Do you know who has access to the evidence room?
As far as I know, just myself and the judge.
That's interesting.
Look, I don't like saying this, but the judge occasionally leaves the evidence room unlocked. The man even locked himself in his own office, for pity's sake. Not that it matters. I was told the burglar came from the outside.
So it's safe to say you weren't here during the theft?
Are you liking me for this crime, Nancy?
No, I don't like anyone for this crime. Or any other crime for that matter. Just doing my research.
I was not here. I was running errands around town. Busy, busy, busy.
Do you happen to have the code for the evidence room door?
Nope, sorry. He hasn't given that to me yet. And knowing him, he's probably already lost it.
Doing some follow-ups with the arson. Where were you that night?
Are you asking for my alibi?
Well, yes, if you don't mind.
I was at a charity fundraiser, saving the piping plovers. Anyone in this town that works in an official capacity can vouch for me. Are you interviewing any of them?
I don't think I'll need to.
I'm a little bit surprised you'd even ask.
Just being thorough.
I can respect that.
Would you mind telling me what you were doing 3 days ago?
3 days ago. All day or...
Well, any info would be helpful.
Actually, why are you interested in this?
I was in Austria 3 days ago and witnessed a theft of a historical artifact there that, surprisingly, I believe is connected to this theft.
I see. I was talking to your father about that case.
Really?
Yeah. We chat sometimes. About work. Mostly.
Okay.
Ask him.
Sure.
You're a regular sleuth, aren't you? Picking up other cases now?
Not exactly. It's kind of related to the Hathorn house.
Yeah, let's see. I was home watching Jason cut the stump out of my front yard.
You hired Jason Danforth for that?
He's cheap, and he can't say no because he needs the money. Plus, I kind of like watching him suffer a little.
I wouldn't know why.
You know, I could use someone like you. A lawyer is always in need of a good private investigator. If your father would be okay with you working for someone else.
Alicia, I'm my own woman. I work for myself. But you've been very helpful, and I really appreciate it.
Good. Well, when you solve this case, let's talk.
Do you know Lauren Holt?
Owner of Luminous Infusions. Resident of the Hathorn Estate Carriage House.
So do you know her?
Absolutely. I represent her.
How's the case going?
Well, that's a bit of a confidentiality issue. But you are the daughter of a lawyer. So, without a will, there is no case. No one has been able to find it.
And without the will, the house goes to the state.
The law is the law. I can try to get a delay. But we've already delayed twice, and the state doesn't care that someone lives there. It's a tough world out there.
I spoke with Lauren. She mentioned you have a key.
A key?
To the Hathorn house.
It's the only copy. Don't lose it. Oh, and this really isn't supposed to be in your hands. If someone finds you with it, I might have to say you stole it.
I'll make sure to be discreet. Thanks.
Here to help, Nancy. Hey, next time, please knock before entering, okay?
Why did you bring your hammer drill to the office?
Well, after the burglary, we realized that this place was in dire need of higher security. I ordered the keypad online and used the drill to mount it. I just keep forgetting to bring the drill back home with me.
That's impressive.
Yeah, still ended up calling a professional when the thing wouldn't stop beeping.
What did you mean when you said the people here are not your type?
Oh, you probably know by now. You've been around town, right?
I have.
It's all people with minds as small as the town itself. I don't mean to sound harsh, but you can only meet so many with the same mindset before you see a pattern.
That's interesting. Did something happen?
Oh, nothing much. Sometimes I just wish this place would be a bit bigger, you know? More progressive. Imagine a revitalized town.
Do you think that could happen?
A woman can dream.
See you later.
voicemail inbox of Ned Nickerson. I apologize that I did not come to the phone in a timely fashion.
Pick up your phone, Ned.
No, not today. I can't. There's too much to do.
Come on, take a break. You need it.
Jason, I have had these protesters outside my window nonstop for days. I must deal with this situation. The longer it goes on, the worse it looks.
Yeah. Ooh, but I'm buying lunch.
You're buying? Really? With what?
You gotta get over this, Dad. It's not good for you. It's not healthy.
What are you talking about?
You resent me.
I don't resent you, Jason. Miss Drew, please, come in. We'll talk later, okay?
Oh, you have time for her, but not for me.
Please, Jason.
Hi, Jason Danforth.
Nancy Drew.
Nancy Drew. You're visiting Salem, yeah? What do you think? Kind of a boring town beneath all the legends.
Jason, come on. We have a meeting.
Actually, it seems like there's a lot going on here.
Well, whenever you're up for some real excitement, look me up.
I'm sorry. He's still trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life.
Didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps.
Oh, he tried. Didn't have the dedication to follow through with the schooling. Anyway, let's get started.
As you know, I want to investigate the crime scene. Could you give me the code for the keypad?
Information isn't usually available to the public. I'm afraid I can't just take your word for it. I'll have it taken care of.
As you know,
Information isn't usually...
Did you make this for me?
yep. And look, it's got a witch on it.
Oh, how fitting! A witch cake for the resident witch! Aren't you just the sweetest? So thoughtful. You know, seeing this, I think you might have some magical energy flowing through you. With enough flair and a touch of charisma, you could really go a long way as a witch.
Thank you, but I've got my career goals set a little differently. Enjoy the food.
Did you make... Oh, you know... You're back. Great. Let me guess. More questions?
Spooky how you could tell.
Though it harm none, do as thou wilt.
Okay.
I'm saying I guess it can't do any harm.
I've been going around asking everyone in town where they were on the night of the arson.
The night of the what?
Arson? At Hathorn House?
Why, I have no idea what you're talking about. Kidding, Nancy. Don't look so serious. I was here that night, doing my thing. I think there had to have been at least 20 people who can confirm that. It really stinks that Lauren is going to lose her home.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, of course.
So, I've heard ghosts are haunting Salem.
Of course.
You believe it?
How could I not when I've seen them with my own eyes?
Really? Can you describe what you saw?
Sure. It was dark, foggy. I was walking through the cemetery. Or was it the town square? I don't remember, but I do remember a ghost. No, multiple ghosts. Spirits.
And did you ever see any ghosts near Hathorn House?
As a matter of fact, I did. I told you that a coven of witches unleashed them on the town a few years back. They will not rest until they get their vengeance. Let me guess. You can't find proof of a living soul present at the house the night it burned. Maybe the culprit wasn't among the living?
That sounds even harder to prove.
Have you seen The Restless Souls of Salem, Nancy?
I've seen something, but I'm not willing to just believe it's real. I need more.
Be careful. They'll still find you whether you believe in them or not. You might want to avoid the cemetery.
3 days ago, were you doing any witch tours?
3 days ago? No, I was not.
Okay. You remember what you were doing?
Actually, I had won a spa holiday at the Wayfarer Inn over in Marblehead. It was amazing. They used those glass cup things on my back. It was wicked crazy.
Oh. You have any receipts or...
It was all expenses paid. And I'd show you my back, but I'm a quick healer. Witch powers. It looks like it never happened. You know, I had a flyer for the spa, but I threw it away this morning. Sorry, I know I'm not being helpful.
It's okay. You are. Thanks. It's about you, Tegan, and Lauren, when you were kids.
Why are you interested in this? We grew apart. It happens.
I found an old photo from back then. It had the name Coven on it. Look. Was it the one you talk about in your show?
You found this photo at Tegan's house? I didn't peg her as sentimental.
So was it the same one?
Well, yes. Same coven. We heard about it as kids, I guess. We were all into history and witches. We still are.
And yet you've never made up.
I don't get why you care.
Can't help it. It's a mystery, even if you all tell me it isn't. See you later. Hey there, girl. Can't tell if you're supposed to be cute or creepy. I need to get Judge Danforth's permission before I invest.
Whoa.
You left your door open.
Actually, that was Damien Faulkner. He's my intern.
You have an intern. I haven't seen him.
He's around. Someone has to make the coffee here. I'm swamped most days, and I could barely trust Judge Danforth with a flashlight.
Oh, I mean, he's not that inept.
You're right. That was mean. Anyway, what can I help you with?
I just met Jason Danforth.
What did you think? Kinda cute, huh?
Not the adjective I would use.
Different tastes.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like a fast food cheeseburger with extra cheese. And I'm more of a home-cooked meal kind of gal.
What can I say? I love cheese.
So you know him well?
I know him. He does odd jobs for me sometimes. Doesn't hurt that he's easy on the eyes. He is kinda dumb, though.
I wouldn't really know, to be honest.
Listen, spare yourself the headache and just avoid him. Trust me, not much substance. He loves his car. That's all you really need to know.
See you later. As you know,
Information.
see you. Hey,
Nope.
we're going.
You say, look, think.
Talk. Bring light. Locked. The key should fit, but the door and lock are awry. The door needs more leverage. Locked. Locked. ought to help me out. Locked. Now this is more like it. There we go. Now it fits. An old sec. Peculiar about this mirror. Someone painted laurels on the mirror glass, but why? A brand new jacket? Who would leave this behind? Francis Tuttle needed this medical machine to stay alive. I wonder what will happen to it now. It's dusty. Francis Tuttle needed this medical machine. The entire second floor has burned down. It looks unstable. Not going any further than this. Hello. A business card.
You're back!
I found this jacket.
Oh my gosh, where'd you find it? I've been looking for this.
It was in the Hathorn house.
Hathorn House? What was it doing there? I've never been there.
I don't know, but it had your business card in its pocket, so I knew it was yours.
What luck! That's great! Can I have it back?
Sure. See you later.
I knew you couldn't resist.
Yes, you are correct, Jason. I could not.
I'm open tomorrow night. Or tonight. Around here. Lady's choice.
How about 3 nights ago?
Wait, we already went on a date?
Definitely not.
Oh,
Where were you on the night Hathorn House was burned?
oh, right. I was,
Do you remember?
yeah, it's coming to me. Primal Cuts.
I'm sorry.
It's a steakhouse. I was there with my dad. Great steak, very expensive. He'll tell you. So, if we haven't been on a date yet, does that mean we're going to go on one in the future?
No, thank you. I have another question for you.
Yes, it's true. I'm single.
I actually wanted to know what you were doing 3 days ago.
Are you sure that's what you want to know?
Yes,
I was actually digging out a stump in Alicia Cole's backyard.
you. Digging out a stump.
What? Yeah. Not my favorite pastime, but I can't really say no to the money. I mean, it gives a good tan. Ladies can't say no to a hot bob. You don't believe me? Well, maybe you should ride with me to the beach. I can show you.
No thanks.
No, thank you.
See you later. I really should call Dad so he can run this by the judge. I could jeopardize the whole investigation if I was caught snooping around the courthouse without permission.
Nance, how's my girl doing?
Hey, Dad. I have a favor I need to ask you.
Of course. Shoot.
I need to investigate inside the Salem courthouse, specifically concerning the burglary in the evidence room. Do you think you could call Judge Danforth on my behalf and get his permission?
Not a problem. You know, this reminds me, next time you see him, you should bring up the Lake Winnipesaukee Regatta.
Dad,
Yeah?
maybe later.
Sure thing. Talk soon. You're all set.
Great. Thanks, Dad.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else?
I'm just really proud of you, Nancy. I don't know how often I tell you that. I think it's not nearly enough.
Thanks, Dad. You know I learned it all from you, right?
Oh, now I know that's not true. The judge told me about a certain lock-picking incident. You certainly didn't learn that from me.
I may have picked up a few extra skills along the way.
I'd expect nothing less. Love you, kiddo. Go get him.
Judge, everything okay?
What in the Sam heck is a Bitcoin?
A Bitcoin? It's a cryptocurrency.
A what?
It's a decentralized digital currency.
All these new made-up digital things just go too far, if you ask me. Nothing's ever been wrong with good old American Benjamins.
As you know, I want to investigate the crime scene. Could you give me the code for the keypad?
Oh, yes, about that. Well, you see, I had it written on a post-it note, but I seem to have misplaced it. It should be around here somewhere. Feel free to look for it.
Oh, okay. Don't worry about it. I love a good scavenger hunt. See you later. There's a number written on here. No glass on the floor, so the window was broken from the inside. Need to get the list of the evidence that was stored here. No. 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 Now to figure out which ones were stolen. It's dusty. It's dust. A map of Salem. No. 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 Interesting. No. Interesting. No. Interesting. All of the stolen evidence was linked to the accused witch's claim to Hathorn House. All of the stolen evidence was linked. A CCTV camera? There might be footage from the day of the break-in. Should ask the judge about this. Who has access to the evidence room?
Oh, well, that would be me and Alicia. Why do you ask?
Just curious. Thanks. I'll come back later.
You're back! Great. Let me guess. More questions?
See you later.
Hi, Nancy.
I'll...
Yes?
Do you have access to any of the CCTV footage?
Ah, no, sorry. I think that's the judge's purview.
See you later. The break-in was staged. The thief must have come in through the door. dusty. A map of Salem. I went through the missing evidence and was able to get a list of everything that's missing.
I'm afraid I haven't been completely honest with you, Nancy.
I know.
What? You know?
Let's just say I can tell when someone is trying to hide something from me.
The reason Carson sent you to Mosem Castle was because I already knew what was stolen from the courthouse. Tegan Perry had assembled a packet of documents outlining her accused witch's claims on the Hathorne house. They were compelling, and I believe she had a real claim. But now, they're missing.
No documents, no claim.
Yes. Oh, what a mess.
Without any evidence or will, what's the legal status of the house?
Well, that is a somewhat complicated question. So many moving parts and interested parties with crossover jurisdictions.
You're the one who decides who gets the house.
How did you know?
I can tell you're not happy about being the center of such a large decision.
Well, it's muddy, legally, and complicated for other reasons.
Because it's not just who lives there. It's tied up in the town's history.
Yes, not to be taken lightly.
Do you remember any details about the AW evidence?
I don't remember much, unfortunately. Oh, there was this key with its blade shape to spell AW. Very unique. Not sure what it was connected to.
Like this one?
Yes, that's it. Where did you find this?
Mosem Castle. I say both crimes are connected. The theft of the Book of Apologies and the theft of evidence from the courthouse.
Someone is going to great lengths to prevent the AW organization from having a claim on the Hathorne estate.
Any educated guess who that might be?
Practically everybody in this town. Everyone has an interest. Some want it to be a museum, others a carnival attraction. And I'm sure Lauren Holt just wants to live there.
I'll have to dig deeper.
Well, you'll need to do it quickly. I unfortunately must file the papers in 2 days. Otherwise, I lose control of the property and it falls into the hands of the state. And I doubt they give a fig about anyone's opinions from this town.
I love a good ticking clock, as long as it's not a time bomb. Where were you when this evidence was stolen?
If you can believe it, I was here, working. I have no reason to steal the evidence, trust me. It's giving me more headaches than I care to admit.
Do you have CCTV footage from the break-in?
Yes, we do. Huh. I had completely forgotten about those.
Do you mind if I take a look at the footage?
Of course, of course. It'll take about a day to get the right footage. Come back tomorrow and it will be here waiting for you.
Do you mind me asking what you were doing 3 days ago?
That would be the day you visited Mosem Castle. Are you asking for an alibi, Miss Drew?
I'm just trying to confirm what everyone was doing the day that the Book of Apologies was stolen.
I know it was stolen. But you know I'm the one that called your dad to have you go look for it to begin with.
Right. But other people might say they were with you.
I was at Salem District Court all day, so unless you're interviewing the fine folks who stole eggs from a plover's nest at Winter Island Beach, or triple parked outside the Wax Museum during the middle of the Harvest Festival, I highly doubt my schedule will have crossover with any of the alibis you're following up on.
One quick question for you, Judge. Do you remember where you were on the night the Hathorn house was burned?
Of course. I was having dinner with my son. It was a very expensive dinner because Jason got the 64-ounce tomahawk chop. I paid for it like I always do. Ha! You actually suspect me of committing this crime?
No. I just like to get the full picture of who was where, when.
Oh, good.
Right. Thank you, Judge. Also, I thought you should know there's a car parked outside in the handicapped spot.
Huh, you don't say. I'll have it taken care of. Goodbye now.
Yes.
Did you know that the break-in was faked?
Sorry, I'm not following.
Whoever broke in entered the evidence room without actually having to break anything. They tried to make it look like they broke in from outside, but they came in through the door.
I told the judge to lock that door. And considering how lax security is around here, I mean, you just walked right in. It could have been anyone. I'm just glad we upgraded the security since then.
See you later.
Yes.
See you later. Is that young Tegan? Olivia. It's dust.
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now.
What do we want? Justice! When do we want it?
What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? You're back.
See you later.
Nancy, hey.
What's the history behind the Hathorn estate?
Right. Well, Judge John Hathorn was born and raised in Salem. His father was a decorated military man who had many real estate holdings throughout New England. And when Judge Hathorn became a justice, he tried to expand those holdings. Much of the land that the Hathorn estate was built on was actually seized property from accused witches.
So awful. I think the land stealing part was even mentioned in Olivia's tour.
Didn't expect her to actually care about the history. At the time, no one made the connection, not even in court documents. But it happened.
Do you think the fire is somehow related to Salem's history with witches?
What do you mean?
Like, is it meant as a symbolic gesture? Because that's how most witches died?
That was a European thing. No, they were more civilized in the New World. We hung our witches. Short drop, so they slowly choked to death. A couple more died in custody awaiting trial, and one, an elderly man who refused to testify, was pressed to death.
Pressed?
Yeah. They put a bunch of heavy stones on top of you, over a period of days.
That's horrible.
She did not know the weight until she felt the freedom. Scarlet Letter. Also a descendant of Judge Hathorn. Except Nathaniel Hawthorne was so horrified with his family's history that he added a W to change it.
Wow. The focus on descendants isn't really something they teach you in school.
Yep. We think our world is so much more advanced now, but we have a hard time escaping our past.
Where were you on the night of the fire?
I was at my boyfriend's watching a movie. Here, this is his number. You can ask him.
Have you been dating Damien for a long time?
Yeah, a couple years, I think. I like him. I mean, I really do. He listens to me, and yeah, he's great.
Was he with you the whole night?
I mean, most of the night. I don't think he's capable of arson, if that's what you're suggesting.
You trust him?
Absolutely, 100%. Go ahead, call him. You'll see.
There was this photo tucked away in the guest room.
Now I'm really embarrassed. Such an awkward age.
Is that Olivia and Lauren in the picture with you?
Yeah, we were pretty tight back then. Had to take pictures.
I couldn't tell where it was taken. Do you remember? There were lots of books and candles.
It was probably the... I don't know. Books and candles are everywhere in Salem. It could be anywhere. It was years ago. I don't really remember.
How did Frances Tuttle come to own the property?
Ms. Tuttle bought it 30 years ago, cheap. It was falling apart. The former owners couldn't be located, so it was auctioned. She was a bit of a kooky lady living in a ruin like that, but she was kind. I mean, she took in Lauren like a daughter. That says something about someone, doesn't it?
I agree. Deirdre only mentioned it in passing, but you and Olivia used to be friends?
We were, and I guess it doesn't hurt to mention that Lauren was a part of our little group as well. But that was years ago.
So you don't get along now?
Things changed.
Did something happen?
I don't see why this is relevant. Aren't you supposed to be clearing my sister's name? She doesn't need more blame for things she didn't do.
What did she get the blame for before?
This town wants someone to blame for everything. She's different and gets singled out.
I want to know more about anyone who might have a motive for the fire. Maybe you can help if you know them, even as old friends.
I guess. Go on.
What can you tell me about Olivia?
What can I tell you about Olivia? I can tell you that I think her shtick is ridiculous. And that she's doing this town a disservice by selling this silly idea of broomsticks in this double toil and trouble version of witches. This is a place of real history, and she wants it to be a theme park.
Do you think she would have burned down the Hathorn house?
I suppose it would be good for business. People love a ruin.
Especially a haunted ruin.
She is pretty happy lighting fires. But I don't know. I only want my sister cleared.
I know. We're getting there. I can't help but think about the rumor Olivia talks about. The coven.
You shouldn't pay any attention to her stories. She just says whatever she thinks the crowd wants. Real history isn't interesting to Olivia.
So you never heard this rumor elsewhere?
I didn't say that. There are no witches in Salem. Just showy frauds and stupid kids doing stupid things. Don't trouble yourself with ancient history and rumors. There's a real kid in trouble who needs your help.
What can you tell me about Lauren?
Lauren is a piece of work. Olivia may pretend to be a witch, but Lauren thinks she's a witch, you know? They are as bad as each other. The real legacy and history of Salem is what's important, not over-the-top stories and hokey potions and lotions.
So you don't go to her shop?
I've never been in, but I've had the tea. My advice? Stay away from the Senna Leaf. Can ruin your whole day.
Do you think she would burn down Hathorn House?
I don't know. Maybe. If she thought it would help her stay on the grounds. She certainly doesn't want anyone else having it, even if there are historical and legal reasons. But like I said, I don't really know her that well anymore.
Do you remember what you were doing 3 nights ago?
3 days ago? Well, I was probably working here. Why?
You were working at the museum. Can anyone confirm that?
Well, I'm always here.
But was anyone else here?
May was home all day, laying low, and Olivia wasn't here either. I don't know where she was, to be honest. You'll have to ask her.
So no one can confirm that? And you're sure May was at home?
She's barely left the house since the incident. People here treat her like she has an infectious disease. It's awful. And I don't blame her if she wants to sit at home on her phone all day. Ugh. Her parents need to come home. Soon. So, I gotta ask. What do you get out of this?
I get a lot.
Really? You travel around, talk to all these people, deal with all their problems, put yourself in harm's way?
Not always. Alright, some of the time. I don't know. It's like there's these small obstacles that I enjoy working on, and they're interesting. But what I really love is the puzzle of humanity. What makes people tick? Why do people do what they do? It's always the hardest one to crack, because sometimes we do things that don't make sense. We're inherently irrational. Know what I mean?
You know, there's a theory about why these specific women were persecuted as witches. Some people believe that ergot, which is a fungus that grows in cereal grains, might have gotten into the food supply. It poisons anyone who eats it. Hallucinations, circulation issues, seizures. It would have made people look like they were possessed. Or made the judges think they were doing God's will. Or make the whole town go haywire.
A rational explanation for irrational behavior.
Just a theory. We'll never know. Anyway, I don't want to keep you. Thanks for stopping by.
Can you tell me about the accident May was in when she was a kid?
Why do you need to know that? How is it important?
I didn't think it was, but everyone else sees reason to believe May is the one who burned Hathorn House. So that makes it important, I know.
It started with the arson, and she has other convictions on her juvenile record as well.
What happened?
It was an old shed near our home. May was about 9 or so. She was in it one night. She shouldn't have been. Playing with candles, a lighter, I don't know. It caught fire. She was charged.
She was so young.
I feel responsible. She shouldn't even have been there, and I'm the older sister.
It's not your fault. I'm sorry to upset you. It helps me to understand.
Just don't talk to May about it, please.
Do you have any more information about the Salem witch trials?
Did the exhibitions manage to spark your interest?
They did. I found this display showing the ancestry of the accused, but it didn't seem fully complete. I was wondering if you had more information stored here somewhere.
Well, we do have the upper floor, which is also where I keep most of my accused witches stuff.
Would it be okay for me to go up there? I'd really like getting a better picture of the history of Salem.
Usually we don't allow people up on the second floor. It's restricted. But maybe just this once I can make an exception. You are here to help, after all. So if you think it would benefit you, feel free to go up there.
Thank you.
I'll open the door for you. It's actually really cool. The stairs are hidden behind a bookcase. Hold on.